everybody. My name is Tara White, and this is my speech on the Fantasia musical. Fantasia is a 1940 American animated musical produced by Walt Disney Productions, with story direction by Joe Grant and Vic Humer, and production supervision by Walt Disney and Ben Sharpstein. It consisted of 8 animated segments set to pieces of classical music conducted by Leopold Stokowski, 7 of which are performed by the Philadelphia Orchestra. Music critic and composer Deems Taylor acts as the film's master of ceremonies, who introduces each segment in live action. Fantasia was first released by a theatrical roadshow that was held in 13 cities across the U.S. between 1940 and 1941 by Radio Pictures. The first began in Broadway Theater in New York City on November 13th in 1940. The first animated segment is Toccata and Fugue in D minor by Jonathan Sebastian Bach. He has live action shots of the orchestra illuminated in blue and gold, backed by shadows faded into patterns. Animated lines, shapes, and cloud formations reflect the sound and rhymes of the music, and I thought this was the Baroque period. The second would be the Nutcracker Suite by Pyotr Lich Tchaikovsky, and this was selections from the 1892 ballet suite Underscore, scenes depicting the changing of the seasons from summer to autumn to winter, and a variety of dances are presented with the fairies and the fish and the flowers. There were mushrooms and leaves, including Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairy, Chinese dance, Arabian dance, Russian dance, and Dance of Flutes, and the Waltz of the Flowers. And I think that was a little bit of the Romantic period. The third one is The Sorcerer's Apprentice by Paul Jewix, based on Goethe's 1797 poem Der Zauberling. Mickey Mouse, the young apprentice of the sorcerer's Yen Sid, attempts some of the master's magic tricks, but does not know how to control them. And I think that was also Romanticism. I think most of them was Romanticism to me. It was hard for me to tell because some of them are so close. Moving along, we are on The Rite of Spring by Igor Stravinsky, and his is a visual history of the Earth's beings, is depicted to selected scenes of the ballet score, and these sequences progresses from the planet's formation to the first living creatures, followed by the reign and extinction of the dinosaurs. After that one, it goes into an intermission period, and the orchestra musicians actually depart. And there's like an intermission there, a brief session of jazz music, and that is led by clarinets of the orchestra members. And then it moves on after the little halftime show they got to one called The Pastoral Symphony by Ludwig van Beethoven, a mythical Greco-Roman world of colorful centaurs and cupids, fauns, and other figures from classical mythology is portrayed in Beethoven's music. A gathering for a festival to honor the god of wine, but is interrupted by Zeus, who creates a storm and directs Falcon to forgive lightning bolts for him to throw at the attendees. And I thought that was part of the Romanticism. There's the next one, which is Dance of the Hours by Amilcare Ponchielli, and that's a comic ballad in 4 sections. And the final finds all the characters dancing together until their places collapse. That too, Romanticism for me. And then the last 2 were actually combined together. So you have The Night on Bald Mountain by Modest Mussorgsky, and Ave Marie by Franz Schubert. On Walpurgis Night, the giant devil Chernobog awakes and summons evil spirits and restless souls from their graves to Bald Mountain. And the spirits dance and fly through the air until driven back to the sound of the Ingussus bell. As night fades into dawn, a choir is heard singing Ave Maria as a line of robed monks is depicted walking with lighted torches through a forest and into the ruins of a cathedral. And overall, I think the Disney cartoon enhanced the music. The orchestra goes right along with the main different lights and cartoon figures that are telling the story throughout the movie. It's interesting to me to see them portray the characters and use them to enlighten the listener, and it gives them a visual to capture the audience's attention. Fantasia, to me, was an interesting topic to explore. It really is a work of art, in my opinion, and I was very intrigued after learning all the different individual pieces of music that are involved in the movie, and I thought it was really interesting to look into.